Hi, my name is Ronnie Jimenez, and this is my third take on this. The first two weren't very good. Anyways, my presentation is on Tanjiro Kamado and how he relates to chemistry. The, his Hinokami Kagura technique, though, not the water breathing. Why is this working? Okay, there we go. I just want to put a spoiler warning, because I know there's people who do enjoy Demon Slayer, and this presentation will include spoilers from the most recent movie and through the end of the manga. So if you don't want to be spoiled, just try and tune this one out. I don't know if we're presenting these or not, the whole class, but if we are, there that is. Anyways, my character, Tanjiro Kamado, is the lead protagonist of the anime and manga Demon Slayer. He became a demon slayer after his entire family was slaughtered by a demon, and his younger sister was turned into a demon. After that, he would go and become a demon slayer as a member of the Demon Slayer Corps to try and turn his sister back into a human. And he starts off using the water breathing technique, but after a certain point in the story, he goes on to use the Hinokami Kagura as his main superpower, if you will. But yeah, his main technique from then on. Or you can call it sun breathing too, I just refer to it in some instances. Because I guess that's, the basic term for it in the Hinokami Kagura is just I guess the name that passed on to his family. It was never really explained. At least I don't think it was. And right here I have the man of the hour himself, looking nice and spiffy and very desaturated. And I even have one of the manga. And yes, these are very expensive. I don't know why, but they are. Let me try and flip to a good page. I'm going to do this because it's going to increase the length of this presentation. And it also helps the presentation a little bit. So, get a good. Maybe I shouldn't pick the first one. Just not pick the one. Yeah, that's where that is. So how did you get this power? Why talk about it? The Hinokami Kagura is a breathing technique passed down Tanjiro's family line from father to son. And this power, earlier referred to as sun breathing, is the original breathing technique. It is the bee's knees. It is what everybody likes to talk about. And it was developed by Yurichi Sugakuni, the strongest demon slayer to live, and was unintentionally taught Tanjiro's ancestors while he was displaying the 12 forms associated with sun breathing. The reason I chose this character and his power is because I really like this character. He's a cool guy. And there's a lot of secret chemistry that goes into the technique that the character uses. So, yeah, I want to talk about it because I just like talking about Demon Slayer. And any chance I can, I will. Anyways, here are some pictures from the manga of the technique in action. Very cool. I like it. And there's a video. I don't think you can hear it because Screencast-O-Matic wants you to pay for computer audio, but you still watch it if you want. If I can get it to load. There you go. That is about where that display ends. As unfortunately, that's one of the only instances of this power being used in the anime currently, as further instances are inside of the manga. So, yeah, I'll have more to show in the coming years. But, yeah, so how does this all relate to chemistry? Well, Tanjiro's Hinokami Kagura technique can be applied to the following chemistry subjects: combustion, thermochemistry, and kinetics, but kinetics is more so related to how he fights more than his technique. But there's an application. You'll see later. First off is combustion. When Tanjiro uses the sun-breathing technique, a flame is summoned, usually engulfing his blade. This is significant because this combustion is spontaneous and it is activated without an external source. And we can assume that the field for attack is oxygen gas, as there is no solids and liquids present. I cannot talk today when the technique is used. So yeah, we'll get more into that in the next slide. We talk about thermochemistry. Naturally, the combustion that happens during the 12 forms of the Kamikagra are all exothermic and redox reactions. Note, note the exothermic and redox reactions, as those are very specific to the technique, as they release heat and add oxygen into the reaction. Additionally, as a bonus to the ability, the user can completely stop regeneration of demons with the process we can assume is cauterization, meaning these flames burn at a minimum of 300 degrees Fahrenheit or around 149 degrees Celsius. Might want to wear some sunscreen around the sun breather because those flames are super hot. And as you can see in the little gift in the background, he is slicing threads with that fire. He's burning them. That's not important, but I want to mention it anyways. As a bonus, kinetics, the ability to swing a sword and behead a demon isn't just some magic, it does require some proper swinging techniques. While there isn't a definite technique defined, based off the technique slayers use, you will need to turn your blade about 90 to 120 degrees based off your position. So, like, if you're holding it like this, I want to like turn it like this. I'm not doing it right because I'm not holding a sword. And yeah, based off your position, you want to swing around 85 to 336 not degrees, at psi, depending on your opponent. The reason it's 85 to 336 degrees psi, not degrees, psi. Anyways, the reason it's those numbers is because it actually does not take that much force to behead someone with a sword. But some demons do have different, like neck thickness. So it's not as easy to chop off some demons' neck as it is for others. So the average punch is around 85 psi, so I went with that as the minimum, and the hardest punch ever, I think recorded, or at least what I found from my research, was 336 psi. I almost had degrees again. The most notable use of kinetic associated with the Kamikagra is the final and 13th form. This form has the user complete all 12 previous forms in succession non-stop, gaining stamina and more notably velocity. This form was used in the final fight against Kitsuji Muzan, the King of Demons, and allowed Tanjiro to gain more momentum as he danced around his enemy in circles, and as time passed, he got more and more momentum and more strikes in without being hit as he was moving faster and faster. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And sounds really hard. But as a side note, I didn't include it in the presentation because it didn't have much to do with chemistry. But I still want to mention it, is that using the 13th form that allow that in most circumstances would allow the user to keep doing it nonstop without having to run out of stamina. It is mentioned a little bit right here that you gain stamina despite looking like you lose it, but no, you don't. You don't lose stamina. And it also heats up your body, so you can dance in the cold like this guy is in the back. That's Tanjiro's father. Yeah, I thought I said that wrong for a second. Anyway, so my conclusion and final thoughts, I thought I heard my door open, I was scared. I don't want to do 4 takes. The conclusion and final thoughts. This project was a lot of fun, I really liked it. I sound like I'm being sarcastic right now, but I'm not. I really liked it, because I like talking about Demon Slayer. And I really like chemistry too, despite my, you know, I'm not gonna say that. That sounds awful. But yeah, I like chemistry and I like Demon Slayer, and putting both together is a lot of fun. And hope I was able to teach you about my dog's barking. I was able to teach you about chemistry behind Tanjiro's Hinokami Kagura, and more so hope it inspires you to check out the series. Please watch Demon Slayer or read the manga, or do both. That's what I did. I also learned that there is little to no resistance if you behead someone correctly, so keep that information in the back of your head, besties. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the slideshow. Click show to exit. I really hope this takes, because I don't want to do a 4th take. But yeah, I just want to show you these pictures again, because they're really cool looking. Mm, that should be it. That's 9 minutes and 11 seconds long. I accidentally cut it off too early. I just wanted to say bye and thank you.